Okay, if you're like me, this has happened. The download came, you're like, "Ooh, that's a good idea." You journaled it, you got it down, and then when it came to actually press the record button, go live, publish, click the button, a shiver goes in your body, or you're like, heart starts beating, right? And it's like, or or you did the thing. You clicked the button, you went live, you posted the video, and then afterwards it's like, I didn't get the hook right, or I could have did this better, I could have done that better, or oh my God, only two people saw it, or X, Y, and Z, A, B, C, and the entire alphabet, right? It's second guessing or doubting, or your body, your nervous system is reacting, right? A lot of times, and I know there's a lot of talk about, and they are valid. Maybe we've been assigning it to like an inner child issue or inner child wound that needs to be healed, and maybe, or we've been assigning it to a money wound, right? Um, and you probably have heard the things, right? Like the fear of or not being able to receive money, feeling money's evil, the thoughts, ideas, beliefs about money, and so this could be a money wound. It could be that. Um, and there are some other things, imposterism, yes, perfectionism, right, and all of procrastination, and but what I want to specifically talk about, which I don't think is talked about enough, is the visibility wound. And it has come up for myself. It's come up for many of my clients. It's come up for people in the Awakening Lounge. It's come up for people in the Goddess Collective, the Phoenix Goddess Collective, now it's called. It's come up for people who I am chatting with in messages. It's come up for people who've come to my free energy mastery events. It's come up so many times in so many different ways. And so I'm like, let's talk about this. So, um, let me put the caption up. Yep. So we're talking about the visibility wound. And if you have questions, if you're listening to this, hashtag replay, let me know. If you're like, yes, yes, or I got this question, I got that question, let me know. I want to answer it for you. Or we can just talk, we can talk about it. This is really what this live is about, is beginning the conversation about the visibility wound. So let me just bring up the things. I want to talk about what it's not. It can manifest itself as fear of being seen, right? Because you're feeling the fear of being judged, of being criticized, of being trolled, of being doubted, right? That's where the imposterism comes from. Do I really know what I'm talking about? Am I expert enough? Do I have the credentials enough, right? You hear the enough, right? If I show up, or if I'm seen, or if I say the thing, or I say my truth, I might be attacked. I might be bullied, virtually attacked. And so there's this fear. So there's the fear of being visible and what may come from that. But the fear of visibility is not the visibility wound. And oftentimes you're on the live, you're doing workshops, and we're talking about the fear of showing up, right? And being visible, but we're not getting to the wound, right? Other times it manifests as not good enough, right? I'm not good enough to be seen. I'm not worthy enough to be seen. I'm not beautiful enough to be seen, right? And this comes from a long time of our culture, society, body shaming, race, ethnicity shaming, facial structure shaming, right? Nose too big, eyes too this, ears too that, hair too this, too that, right? And what is enough, what is good, what is perfect, what is beautiful, what is attractive, what is charismatic, and what is not the enough measurement, right? And so if we don't hit that, whatever that arbitrary enough measurement is, then we feel not good enough to show up, right? Not good enough to be visible. So this is an not enoughness energy that moves through you, but it is not necessarily the wound. It can feed the wound. It can confirm in your mind and in your body the wound. But by itself, that's not the wound, right? It can be connected to the wound, but it's not necessarily by itself the wound, right? So it can manifest itself in that I don't have all the right things in the right places, right? This is the perfectionism. This is the rightness, right? which is what a lot of our consumer age social work is honing in on, right? You don't have enough. So let me give you, let me give you, right? So um, I don't have enough of the structure, the funnel, I don't have the right mic, the camera, the this, the that, that. And so the perfectionism kind of filters into place. I haven't figured it out all yet. I don't have the right strategy. I don't have all the notes. I don't have, right? And so that can prevent us, or we allow it to prevent us from being visible, from showing up. But that is not the wound, it's the manifestation of the wound, right? So it can manifest itself in, I don't speak well enough, right? My voice isn't strong enough. I'm not my voice isn't, and my diction, the way that I speak is not charismatic enough. It's not magnetic enough. Um, and that, there may be some truth to that, but that, is connected to the visibility wound. It isn't the core of the wound, right? They're manifestations, oftentimes, of the wound. And often, it's not even a manifestation, though. Sometimes it's just a projection, right? It's how we see ourselves or how we were told that things are. You were told that your voice is not strong enough, or it's too shaky, or it's too high pitched, or it's too this or too that. No matter what you tell me, I promise you I can probably find an example of someone out there who is fully visible and in all their own rights and definitions successful based on their high pitched or their shaky voice or their flat intonation or whatever it is, right? So a lot of times this is just a projection of what's good about your voice, about you showing up. So, um, how else? It can manifest itself in shyness. Um, I'm too shy, I'm too introverted, and there are ways to work through this. It can manifest itself in too busy, right? I'm too busy. I have so much going on that I can't be visible. Um, and I want to just share, like I was dealing with this invisibility wound for a long time. In fact, it may have even shown up in how I chose my career path, right? In the career path that I went into when I was in the military, as a chaplain. So I've been dealing with this for a long time. Even when I was a pastor in organized religion, which I'm not anymore. But when I was, and I was preaching, right, the custom was you would get up, you do your sermon, you preach, and then you go to the back and then you greet the people as they leave. And I used to preach and then come down to the front row where my husband, my family was, and I'd be fiddling with my bag, and I would be putting my things in my bag, and I'd be fiddling and getting all the things together and running time out, hoping that I could get to the back late as possible. Because I was uncomfortable with being seen. I was uncomfortable with uh, the compliments, you know, how people felt or reacted to the message. I was uncomfortable with being seen, um, and I was uncomfortable with seeing myself. Which, of course, with most things, there's two sides to the mirror. And it's important to say because that actually could be part of your healing. If you're dealing with a visibility wound, can you get to the place where you're comfortable with seeing yourself and then seeing the layers of yourself, right? Getting comfortable seeing yourself physically, then getting comfortable seeing yourself emotionally, and so forth and so on, right? This is the kind of work that we do in the Goddess Collective. But just to talk about these things now, to just have the conversation, if you are in fact dealing with the visibility wound. So what is it really then? It's exactly that. It's a wound, right? A hurt that you experienced or that you witnessed, because your mind can take the witnessing of it as reality, as part of your reality experience and what could happen to you, right? So when it decides that, of course, what does it want to do? Protect itself, right? Right, from the wound. It doesn't want to be wounded again, or wounded in a way that it observed. So we're wanting to avoid the pain. The wound could be from where you were seen or not seen, right? Or you observed something negative that happened to someone who was seen powerfully or who was not seen. And so the results of that ended up in a hurt, in a wound. We're talking about the layer underneath the fear, right? The wound. So this could come from something you remember, and it sticks out in your mind, or something that you don't remember at all, right? Because wounds are not always, so it's like a cut that you come to know later on. You're like, you don't even remember where you got the cut or when you got it or how you got it. But all of a sudden you're like, where did I get this cut? Right? That happens sometimes. So sometimes you know exactly, it happened. You know it in the moment. But sometimes later on, you're like, how did I get this cut? So this is what can happen with energetic wounds. And I'm going to call this an energetic wound, right? Which can affect your other energetic bodies. But yeah, so it's something you remember or something that sticks out in your mind or something you don't remember at all. And you may be just now awakening to the fact that, oh my God, what's been happening to me is not imposterism. It's not perfectionism. It's not procrastination. It's actually a visibility wound, right? It can come from something you associate with visibility or not. And when I say visibility, I mean you being seen or you not being seen. So what I mean by that is you could have had an event or witnessed an event, and your mind, your subconscious, your energy body associated with visibility, when consciously, logically, you don't associate it with visibility, being seen or not being seen. But your body took it that way. This is a visibility thing, right? And then it translates into a visibility wound. And sometimes we end up protecting the wound and all its expressed symptoms, but we don't heal the wound, right? And this is survival mode. This is survival codes. This is natural, right? You get a wound and all of a sudden you want to protect it. Sometimes we want to put a Band-Aid on it. We want to, put a bandage around it. We want to protect the wound. But if we continue to do that, it may not heal by itself. You may have to actually get inside and heal the wound. And this is the case with energetics. This is the case with how your body received the visibility wound, how your subconscious received the visibility wound. So yes, we've been protecting it and we've been maybe justifying it with the manifestations, right, of it. What we talked about, the shyness, the imposterism, the perfectionism, right? I don't have this, I don't have that. I do better with this, I do better with that. And so we maneuver around it, we work around it. But maybe now it's time to deal with it. Maybe now it's time to heal it, right? So yeah, let's stop calling it what it isn't. And that's not a criticism. It's let's get to the truth. Right now, we're in that season, right? We're in the season of, we just passed through the full moon of Sagittarius, right? That fire truth that wants to come forward, that wants to express itself. And this might be a truth that you're hearing it. You're like, it's a visibility wound. That's what I'm dealing with. And now I get to go in. This is an exciting moment, actually, to be able to name it and be like, yes. And now I get to do the things to heal that so that I can be fully expressed, so that I can be, make myself available to be seen, to see myself, which is most important, right? To see myself and to not delegate the worth of me being seen to how many likes or how many comments or how many, this and that and all these metrics and all these measurements, right? Which are still kind of out there around the wound. I get to really go inside. I get to really heal that part of myself. Oh, what a beautiful part of the journey. What a beautiful part of loving, accepting, knowing yourself. What a beautiful part of unleashing, unlocking this part of yourself, right? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm telling you, let me just move because I could go on and on, right? But we get to stop masking. We get to stop hiding. We get to stop justifying. We get to stop like putting band-aids over it and calling it something else because that doesn't really help. And if you're feeling this, you fully know, you fully understand that the things you have may have been trying and doing, they're not really helping. It's because you're doing something for a completely different wound, right? So, yeah, maybe you felt like I might be lazy or procrastinating or I don't have the right logic, strategy, and it's probably you get to heal the visibility wound. Just breathing that through because I had been feeling that so very strongly for myself. And that, for me, it came through a Reiki session, a surprise, an unexpected Reiki session where I was connected to this like past life vision. So that's why this is such a personal topic, personal theme for me. Um, and it keeps coming through, and I know it's not just for me, like, it keeps coming through with other people, and I'm like, "Yeah, what you're dealing with is a visibility wound." At some point, somewhere in your body, your energetic bodies, your system decided to be seen was not safe. To be seen was not good. To be seen was may be pleasurable, but not for us because there's a wound. It hurts. It hurts. And there's an acknowledgement there. It hurts somewhere, somehow. So, what do we do? For some, traditional methods have helped, for some, they haven't. Um, but we don't heal it by addressing just the symptoms. We don't heal it by addressing different wounds. Um, what we do is we get to start addressing some of the survival codes that allow the visibility wound to continue. We address some of the social conformity codes that are running in our system that have allowed the visibility wound to continue. We address some of the ancestral codes that are running in your body, that are running in your programming, that have allowed the visibility wound to continue. Okay. And then we infuse that with love. That's what we do. So we're working that through bit by bit in the Awakening Lounge, deep diving in different codes so that we can address those wounds in the Phoenix Goddess Collective. Um, and some of the things that we do. So EFT tapping is great because it gets to help your body normalize, re-normalize your new truth, right? Um, it gets to help your body recalibrate its nervous system to what it used to know, right? Address the wound, feel what it feels, and now move that energy, recalibrate itself to your new truth. So tapping is good. Somatic movement, right? Somatic movement, dancing, it's really good because you get to move that wound energy through your body. Breath work that's specific to that wound and that's specific to those codes. Oh, beautiful work because breath moves energy like no other. So if you know a breath practitioner, this will be really good to work with them. If you don't, I know one. So let me know if you want to do some breath work with that. I can connect you. Reiki energy healing. It was so powerful and freeing and unlocking for me. It's why I became a Reiki energy practitioner. It's why I kept going, and now I'm a master Reiki teacher because it was so very powerful for me, for the unlocking for me. And ritual. So I know that ritual might be a scary word for some people, but as a species, as a human species, we're a people of ritual. By the way, did you know that elephants have a death ritual for their deceased matriarchs? Look it up. That's real, right? It's a consciousness, I think. It's a consciousness thing. So no matter what religious or beliefs, persuasion you're a part of, if you're a part of, you're doing ritual. You may have been doing ritual in your home as a part of just like everyday things. So I'm not even gonna go there. That's another live. That's another live for another day. But we're people of ritual, and why? Because it feels good in our body. It helps us move in our beliefs. It helps us ground. It helps us really connect into our convictions. It helps us use all of our five senses to really connect with what we're deciding to be a part of and believe in. So ritual, yes. So ritual can help. Oh, it's so very powerful. It's so very powerful. So if you have questions about any of what I said, I'm here for it. Okay, drop me a DM, message me in the chat, email me. If you're interested in joining the Awakening Lounge, where you are awakening to the source within you, to the divinity within you, to the magic that's within you, and you are awakening to healing some of these energetic wounds, whether the Awakening Lounge, where you know, we lightly flow in, or you're interested in the Phoenix Goddess Collective, which is like the full blown, let's go. Or if you're interested in some individual work, let me know. Okay. I am sending you so much love and power always. I will see you in the next one.